Shimon the Robot has been reborn as a singer-songwriter.
Distance long.
It also has new mechanical abilities that allow him to play in a much more expressive manner.
Distance long.
What drives me towards this work is to be inspired, to be surprised, to think about music in a way that I didn't before, to play music in a way that I didn't before. I have never written songs, so let's see what happens if an artificial agent writes lyrics that will inspire me to write a song.
I could still be sad.
I can give it a theme, he can write the lyrics, he can suggest melodies for me, I can compose the melodies into a song, and then together with a bunch of other humans we can perform it while he's singing.
Who could it be? And when you leave me on my way, nothing could be on the star track. So on the Reaper-Bond, I cannot hide my mind through dreams.
The singing voice synthesis for Shimon was created by the Music Technology Group at UPF in Barcelona.
Someone calling for you comes right up to the sky, but I'd escape my deepest instincts. Inspired you half of the lost your pain. This silence means you've no duty.
Hi, everyone. So once again, my name is Jenna, and I was supposed to be moderating today's keynote. Unfortunately, Jason Barnes was not able to join us today at the summit, but we still wanted to introduce you all to him and to highlight the work that he, Gil Weinberg, and their team have done in the music technology space, because they've made some pretty incredible advancements, as you can see. So those first two videos showed some of the work that Jason and Gil have done and are doing. It's just some pretty incredible, groundbreaking stuff. And next, we're going to learn a little bit more about Jason and his work with Google. So I think Danny is going to roll a couple more videos for you guys.
Every day I wake up and I kind of think to myself, how did I get here? But you put your mind to something and you don't let anything stop you. It's impossible to not make progress.
When Jason was in diapers, I knew he was going to be an unusual child. He'd be in his high chair at the dinner table, and if there was any music on, he would be beating on the table. Tap, 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 tap. We realized this kid needs some drums because he's always beating up everything. And he had a band, and then life changed. January 9th, 2012, I'll never forget.
I used to do subcontract work cleaning restaurant exhaust. We'd usually do like 2 to 3 jobs a day. Go up on the roof and spray down the duct. Just like I remember a pink flash and then like a loud boom. And then I woke up in the hospital.
When I knew that we were going to have to amputate his arm, he cried in my arms. He said, "Mom, I'm never going to amount to anything. I'll never play drums. I'll never be able to do anything again in my life, ever." After 3 weeks into him being home, he said, "I can't take this anymore." He said, "Get my drum kit out of the garage." And so we duct taped a drumstick to his arm. He did some little tapping around, and then he turned around and said, "You know, I think I can make something work."
Seem like it's growing back, Doc? Just a side of me ever since I've been a kid where if I'm gonna start something, it has to get done. I just won't let it go. So my current prosthetic was what you call a body-powered prosthetic. just uses basic mechanics, so there's no robotic controls or no electronics. I use a lot of my shoulder and elbow to kind of exaggerate to get the hits that I want. It's pretty exhausting. It also has limitations on how fast I can play.
Like, that feels like it might be a little too slow now.
At first, it was a little slow. Yeah, it's a weird one.
So I had an idea of developing a robotic drumming prosthetic, and Gil Weinberg develops musical robots. And so I knew Gil was kind of the right person to reach out to.
I understood immediately what he wanted. He wanted to sense more of his muscles and be able to control the bounce of the drumstick.
Basically, we just wanted to be able to get me back on the kit and play as humanly natural as possible.
The model is trying to learn you, but you probably will have to learn how to work with the model.
Yeah, I think most of it now is like the sensitivity. I'm not training it that hard.
Also, there's a trade-off, because if you increase sensitivity, then it's going to have a lot of false positives and false negatives.
Would you like to move stiff, loose? How fast are we going to change between the kind of hits?
I have tons of ideas, but then it's just like, how accurate is everything going to be? You know what I mean?
Okay. I was a little worried. Can we provide him with what he wanted in terms of the latency and the control? We didn't know that it's possible. Okay, I'm really excited to see if we have signals. Ready, Ning?
The goal is very simple, but in reality, in each of the steps, it's actually pretty complicated.
Oh, see, and that's what happened last time.
We have some crashes and the stick starts to roll around. Maybe we should have Raghav listening also to get an insight.
So what you might have to do is you just take data while you're moving it.
Like we were doing in the lab.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Got
so
you.
that might solve this issue.
It could be also the power supply itself.
Right.
There are actually a handful of challenges with creating a prosthetic arm specifically for drumming. Latency is always a big concern. You don't want to flex your arm and a second later for it to do something.
If it's delayed by 50 milliseconds, you can notice that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of nuance with exactly how the drumstick reacts. Things as subtle as how tightly do you grip it, how does it bounce. They're really hard to calibrate if you don't have a machine learning system to gather all the data.
When I heard about Jason's story, it really blew my mind. I was like, whoa, I had no idea how far we have come in terms of AI and prosthetics.
So the way the arm operates is we use EMG, which stands for electromyography. Basically what that is it's sensors that are amplified by a battery that pick up electrical signals from our residual limb.
Using these signals, we are able to do recognition of complex patterns with machine learning and then map them to specific movements. TensorFlow Lite is doing that in real time.
And so I can flex my muscle and it will tighten the grip on the stick, and I can extend my muscle and it will loosen the grip on the stick, just like it would with a normal hand.
No, the latency, it's like none.
Awesome, that's awesome. And in the last few months, we were able to detect almost 100% of the time this intention.
I can actually feel the feedback from the arm, and it feels as close to a real hand as you can get without it actually being a real hand.
I think what Jason and the team has accomplished is truly awe-inspiring. He took what was a large setback in his life and he moved an entire field of research forward.
So loose, you can actually... Let me see what it might mean. Yeah, I mean, there are drummers with two sound hands that don't have double strokes that even. It's amazing.
For the first time, if you look at him playing, you may not even notice this technology. You just see Jason as the great and expressive musician that he is.
Of course, I think there's a need to keep pushing on this stuff because there's always someone that needs help with something like this, and AI is going to be the bridge between that.
This is a cuica, and this is a Brazilian instrument, and it goes. These are called timbales. These are $70,000. I made that up, but it sounds shocking for this. You ever see interviews with drummers, and they'll be in front of a rack of drums like this? This is good for documentaries. I give Google permission to use this for any documentary. I just want to be in front of these drums. doing? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Fred?
Thanks for coming to my shop. What can I help you with? Can you really help me sort through all these pedals? Have you been in this drum shop?
I have not been in this drum shop at all.
This is like the place in LA, and it goes back 1959.
Wow.
How have you been?
Good, man. You know, the last year was a little rough and a little weird.
Yeah.
Ready to play shows again. And
It was the same with me, too. Like, I had a whole tour booked, couldn't do it, but I got to drum more than I ever have.
So yeah, I'll show you the arm.
Can I see it?
Yeah. And so the way this works is this has a control board and the motor, and then it has 8 sensors inside of it.
Yeah. Oh, this is just too cool.
So this is all the line of code that runs. What we use is Google's TensorFlow system, which is essentially like a machine learning platform.
Mm-hmm.
So if I extend my muscle, it then goes into the lighter blue, and you can see that it has way more play. And then if I flex to where it goes orange, it's very stiff.
Wow.
So like if I'm playing on a drum, lighter blue, darker blue, red.
It's a little buzz roll. Amazing.
I know, and the first time I ever put it on and like played with it and was like able to do that was just like, especially after 9 years, so it was pretty mind blowing.
If you're getting into a song, you know, like I can barely control it. You know what I mean? I get excited and like, do you have to make an effort to be like, okay, lighten up?
The goal with this was to not try and learn how to use it, but to kind of have it react to me.
Oh, even
and so
better.
like I'm not working out every time I'm flexing or extending.
Yeah.
But it's still easy enough, and also not getting false positives when I'm playing across the kit. So if you look at it now, it's pretty much never changing modes no matter what I do unless I want it to.
Oh, it knows.
Yeah. So it's never going to change until I flex or extend.
Great. Well, I think we should play some drums at some point.
Yeah.
Ow!
Awesome.
Well, you sound great.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You too.
Was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
It
you're
was
awesome.
Such a blast. Yeah. I guess we should do the vocals, right? Overdub it now. We're gonna ask you to do a lot of singing.
Yeah.
This was just the drums, but it's gonna be a lot of singing.
So, as you guys can see, Jason and his team are doing some pretty groundbreaking work with prosthetics for music, developing these incredibly advanced robotic prosthetics for drumming, which is insane, and also ultrasound-controlled prosthetic hands that allow for individual finger control so they can be used to play piano, among so many other things. And it's really inspiring to see all these developments that they're making in this world that I think a lot of people don't know very much about within the music space. It's amazing to see how Jason has used his life experience to inform his work and create this tech that really has the power to bring all kinds of new people into the music world. I wanted to share a quick quote from Jason that I think really encapsulates this. He said, "The human race is destined to evolve beyond its current mental and physical condition and limitations through means of self-growth, both organically and through technology." It's so incredible to actually see this evolution happening and to see this technology moving in a direction that makes music creation so much more accessible for everyone. We've been talking a lot about accessibility today, especially in the last panel. As Emily mentioned in that panel, you know, music is a universal experience. And that means that everyone should be able to participate in making it, experiencing it, benefiting from it. And that really is the whole goal of what Jason is doing, of his work, of Gil's work and their team, and also of Finessed Media and of events like this, like the Music and Tech Summit. And we're definitely going to be diving much more deeply into this idea of accessibility, particularly as it relates to music and technology tomorrow on day 3 of the summit, because it's so important to us as a company, and I think to everyone here, because everybody here has this shared experience of loving music and can really relate to that. And it's important that that's accessible to everyone. And it's really amazing to see Jason's work as a part of that, and all of our panelists here today as kind of being a part of making this space more accessible to everyone. So with that, I am going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Jordan and Tammy, and they're going to be closing us out for today.